The following program is rated BB1. It contains strong language, sexual situations, awesomeness, and nudity. It is intended only for mature audiences. Listener indiscretions are advised.
Welcome to our Bliss Bringers podcast. The materials we cover encourage adults of all ages, nationalities, and sexualities to open up and embrace their wildest desires and blissful pleasures. You won't find medical advice here, just our personal experiences following the journey of sexual evolution and education in sizzling fun topics that were definitely not taught to us in school, but have wickedly blossomed into reality. We discuss adventures in ethical non-monogamy, kinks and fetishes, exotic places to visit, sexy events, workshops, and tips. Allow us to seduce you into embarking on new adventures where each day you ask yourself, what's your pleasure?
Welcome to our virgin episode of Bliss Bringers. We're two blissfully married couples exploring the swinger and kinky lifestyles. Our podcast is dedicated to sharing our erotic adventures with you. We might even make you blush. We hope to inspire you to go after your own sexy hot times. I'm just John, and my deliciously seductive wife is Mistress Cindy. We've also been known on the interwebs as the SF Cuties. We're here with our spicy Canadian friends, the captain and his tantalizing partner, Professor T. Each week you can expect to hear about our adventures, and sometimes failures. Get the latest naughty news, learn all sorts of other sensual pleasures and alternative lifestyles through interviews with experts, our own personal explorations and musings, and regular reports from the Luscious labs. I'm sure we will find something for your pleasure. Today I have with me...
Hi, I'm Mistress Cindy.
Captain.
Professor T.
Hello everybody. Now before we get started, does anybody have any interesting personal updates?
We do.
Yes, we do. Yeah, we got together with a gentleman that we've gotten together with in the past, and we hadn't seen him for quite some time.
No, his name's Sterling.
I want to know more about him.
40, over 6 feet tall, and he's got really nice skin. And, he's got an amazing cock.
He does.
Very nice cock.
Yeah?
Stays hard. Yeah. So we went to this hotel.
We got in there and we managed to set everything up with lots of candles, put toys on the beds.
Then we did a photo shoot. I had my different outfits.
Cut to the chase. I want some good...
Yeah.
Give me some
well,
good
actually, the photo shoot really got us going. So then we tried the 15-minute orgasm.
Which we'll report on later in the lab.
And we went out for dinner, and then we came back, and Sterling...
And while we were in the shower, Sterling arrived. So then I put on one of the outfits that I bought the last time I was shopping with Cindy and John in San Francisco. And I practiced some of my Forte Femme power femme stuff.
Which ones did you do?
I did the Queen's Walk. He didn't want to be flogged.
He was very open to Professor T's adventures that she's had since the last time we met with him. He had a smile on his face from ear to ear.
Yeah, I told them all about the weekend with the lab where I flogged my trainer bottom into an orgasm. I think he was pretty turned on by that.
He was very turned on by that.
More on that in one of the next episodes.
Yeah. So then we took one of the bar stools and kind of set it in the room, and I walked up to him and used my power walking, and I said, "Did you miss me?" And he was hard already.
He was hard.
By then.
Boing! Boing!
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
And then basically, I started sucking his cock. I gave him a blowjob. He really responded well to that. So I don't know what else, what.
Well, it was
basically
one shot
and sucked and
got
filmed and
probably
so on for
we
a couple
were
hours.
A couple hours having a lot of fun. And it's funny because we've developed a little bit of a routine with him where we'll stop and rest.
It's not too routine.
Well, the rest is where we've actually fallen asleep.
But this time we were a bit too pumped.
We were a little
really
bit too pumped. So we just kind of lay back a bit and then
take a little time
out and
then we went back at it.
Oh.
And then, but then the second time, so after the rest, and then I started giving him that really, if I do say so myself, amazing blowjob.
It's about the best blowjob I've seen you give.
Ever.
Yes.
He said if I had gone, it's making me just thinking about it. He said if I had gone like another 30 seconds, he would have definitely come. So
you know how Professor T and I like to also have some fun in between all this. So we were having some fun and I was fucking, and I had her bent in a position that you'd never been bent before.
Oh my God. Position. I forgot about that.
You guys doing yoga.
Folded in half.
And, and he likes, Sterling likes watching, and I am very vocal, as you know. So I had an incredible orgasm. Like it lasted a long time.
It did.
And it was unbelievable. And then,
I said, I was clamping down on his nipples like,
And so then I said, while I'm coming, I said, so now we're going to let Sterling fuck you and so he can blow his load in you. So he points to his cock and he says, well, actually, I came.
That was the quietest orgasm I've ever not heard. I was fine with the fact that he had because it was good what we were doing and he should come.
Yeah.
Anyway, and then, then he went and had a shower and we
chatted for a while in bed. We tend to do that.
Then he left and, then it was just
we were
me
so
and the
buzzed.
captain.
We were so buzzed we could hardly sleep.
So that's our update.
So, Mr. Cindy, any updates from you?
2 nights ago, just John and I had come home from work, and we had met up and had appetizers and everything on Friday night, and then that night when we got home, we wrestled around, and we were doing our sexy talk, and we were watching some porn, and we've decided that one of the problems that we've noticed that we have here is we don't know how to signal let's go have sex without just saying let's have sex. And I don't necessarily want to hear that. I don't know. So we have our new keyword is, you want to watch porn? Because that always gets me going.
That is cool. I like that.
That's cool. We say, do you want to have a date?
Oh, that's cute.
Aww.
That's enduring. Nope, I just want the hardcore stuff.
So let's watch some porn is your
you want to watch some porn, honey? So he puts on the porn, and he knows I like the hardcore stuff. I want anal. I want to watch,
gang bang,
the
roughest stuff I can get.
I love that stuff.
So
then we started incorporating the thought of, well, let's do this for Saturday night. Let's get a date. And he's been flirting back and forth over Twitter with a couple of different girls, wives and stuff. And it's very innocent, but it's cute to see it going back and forth because we share the same alias. The Twitter handle is SFCuties. So a lot of times,
I've seen some of that flirting.
Yeah, he's been doing that with Miss Penzer.
Twitter.
It is. So yesterday he took it to the next level and sent a tweet out to Miss Penzer saying, hey, what do you got going on tonight? And she goes, I don't have any plans. What am I doing tonight? And his response over Twitter is, you're doing us.
Wow. Nice.
And so
but you know this person?
Well, we've met them. Let's see.
We met them the first time. I think it blossomed from Twitter, and then we met them at Burning Man. Briefly, we just met them, and then we ran into them at a meet and greet.
Yeah, so we were flirting back and forth even long time before I even knew they were in California.
Yeah.
So that just happened to be, and then we talked, we're going to this party and that party. I'm like, it looks like they're in the neighborhood. Anyhow, and then, we met them
at a local restaurant, had dinner. This is the first time we had a first last night. It's kind of funny how you could be married to someone and still have firsts.
So you met them last night?
We met them previously, but we had dinner. So we had a dinner date night.
Oh, cool.
So that's the first time you've ever done that?
Yeah. To where we went to dinner with a couple and then brought them home with us. Just,
Right.
With that plan, like, come meet us for dinner and let's come home. So that's what we did. We went to a local restaurant, had dinner, came home, jumped in the hot tub.
Well, wait, what was the dinner like, knowing what was coming? Like, was there flirting? Was it sexy? Or was it awkward? Like, what was it like?
It was very friendly. What do you think, John?
Yeah, it
We
wasn't
kept
as
it vanilla.
flirty as normally. It's sort of a little bit of a weird feeling if you're going to a restaurant in your hometown.
Yes.
I don't know. You can't
were in
try to crank the sex appeal to 11. I don't know.
Right.
Maybe
Yeah,
it's something
it
that's
is.
stuck on my
It
mind.
was here, just local in our hometown, so we didn't want to come, we didn't want to look like sluts in front of everybody.
Right.
And
Were
there's
you
kids
dressed
and
like-
stuff around us, so we played it right. We were sitting and talking, and it was nice. It was really nice. And then the plan was, hey, you want to come back to our house? Yeah, absolutely. And drive over there quickly, and came in and poured a couple of glasses of wine, did the idle chit chat, and then the next thing.
How long did the idle chit chat last?
Not that long, probably about 15 minutes.
No, it was longer than that. Because
Was it?
We chatted a lot.
Did you have trouble making the first move, or who made the first move?
No, it just started going smoothly where I think John may have changed, but Miss Penzer just got out of her clothes and wanted to show off her new Victoria's Secret bra and panties. And that was very sexy, and that always gets things going. And then we started on the tattoos, the various types of tattoos that she has. They're very cute. We were trying to convince Mr. Penzer that he needed to have a... Do you know the cartoon characters, Ren and Stimpy? Well, she has one cartoon character, and we were trying to convince Mr. Penzer he needed to get the other cartoon character of Ren and Stimpy. So anyhow...
Yeah, we looked them up last week, actually.
Yeah, exactly. She has beautiful artwork for
Does she?
tats. She has some gorgeous tat work. And then he, I love tats.
Yeah.
He had the armband, and he did it fully around underneath the arm, which some men can't handle,
No.
under that sensitive area. But he did the whole thing, and that was sexy. Hot, hot, hot. And then we jumped into the hot tub.
And then?
And things went south from there.
Hey, we gave you more detail than that.
I know, John. Give
What?
details.
Should
Wow.
we not be giving some? Maybe we gave too much
Here, I'll
detail.
give you some details. We sat, we played. The water was very hot. It was very relaxing. And sometimes in hot tubs with men, it may not provoke the hard on. And so
Too much
I had him.
relaxation.
It is. And so I had him sit up on the top of the edge of the hot tub and opened up the window so we had that breeze coming in, and I started to suck him and play with his balls and lick him, and I love doing that. And
Boy, when you start working your magic,
things
Wow.
go well.
it's such a turn on watching you do that.
Thank you. I love it.
is.
I love it.
Yeah, there were interesting things that night, and I planned it in for 6 o'clock, and Mr.
The dinner-
Stingy said, "Yeah, isn't that a little bit early?" And then today we were saying, "Oh my God, thank God that we put it at 6 o'clock. If we had put it at 8, we would."
Well, what he's not telling you is that the Penzers, they are very well trained, and if you're snow skiers, this couple is a double black diamond. They are not for the beginners. You better be in stamina shape, and you better be ready for the Boston Marathon, because that couple, they go, and they're the Energizer Bunny rabbits, because they go and go and go. They don't need to tap out.
So now, did you use any of your kinky toys, or did you do anything interesting?
Yeah, and we bought, that one that we got at the store.
It's a regular vibrator. We also used the violet wand.
Ooh.
So that was pretty interesting. That was their first time of enjoying that.
I licked his balls again, gave him head while zapping it with the violet wand.
Oh, really?
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Did he like that?
Mistress likes zapping people in the balls with her tongue.
And did he like that?
He did. He could only
So-
take it for a little while. He said it was like being stabbed.
Oh, wow. Stabbed in the balls.
Kind
Yes.
of extreme.
as far as, the details, the luscious details, my God, I had so much fun sucking him. I was digging it. He stays hard, and he was fun, and I love playing with lube, so I was lubing him up, and the lube that we use is actually it does not taste bad, and so I could actually do the condom and fuck him, and oh my God, I had so many gushing BP moments. That boy was rocking me wet. I was just... There is no worry about water rations in this neighborhood after what I was done last night.
Cool.
Wow, that's exciting.
And then, in between. So it was between gushing moments and then sucking moments. And then watching Jan and Miss Penzer was very, very yummy. Mm. So that's it. That was our weekend. What do you think, Just John? Any more details?
It was pretty awesome, as I said, as a public service announcement. That couple should come with a warning label.
Advanced?
Prolonged exposure may lead to addiction and dehydration and stuff like that.
We both tapped out. Normally one of us can stay in the game while the other one goes and licks their wounds somewhere. But this time, by the 12th hour, it was almost, by midnight, we were both going, we're going to bed.
You're kind of done. And they weren't done?
No, they were red. They were still like sparkles in their eyes. We're like, oh my God.
Wow.
That's impressive.
They are a lot of fun.
Amazing. Sterling was only there for a couple hours.
They spent the night.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and we probably would have had morning play, except Just John, Mr. SF Cuties really meant what he said. He was
I was spent. I'm like, kill me now. It was awesome.
I don't doubt it was awesome.
Wow.
He was complaining that his dick was worn out.
Sounds pretty good.
No, it was pretty amazing. It was very amazing. You know what I found interesting with Mr. Penzer? He hasn't done any tantra, but he's been self-teaching on the breathing and giving himself permission to make sounds. And he also knows some of the points of his lower abdomen and groin area that he loves, kind of like a light pressure massage. So as I was playing with his balls and massaging his balls and his cock, I was putting pressure where he said he liked the release. And I said, in some of these energy spots, like with Reiki and other types of energy play, that you can actually release energy. And so I was playing around with it, and he was going into like mini convulsions. And he himself, he knows his body really well, but we played as though it was not the first time.
Sounds like it was great.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
So they will be repeats, no doubt.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for their updates. Now, for our main subject, we wanted to talk about each couple's origin story. So how did we get there? What's our background? And anything interesting around that?
Our origin story. Well, I asked Professor T for a number of years if she would like to go to a nude resort.
But before that, we had been sharing our fantasies.
Yes.
Like, this is years for years. And both of us had fantasies of having sex with other people. So that kind of operates in the background. They were just fantasies that we would use to
heighten the sexual experience.
Yes, because we like talking dirty.
We do.
So then we went to Desire. It was a completely new experience, that there were people who were swinging and people in the lifestyle. We had never heard of the lifestyle.
Hadn't even heard the word.
So the captain was completely turned on all week long. Like, from the minute we got there, he was totally turbocharged. And I was like a doe caught in a headlight. There were people at the pool. One woman I remember in those round chairs by the pool by the trees. One couple, the woman was lying with her legs spread, and the man had his hand between her legs, and he was rubbing her clit. I remember that really clearly, thinking, oh my God, those people are touching each other. So then the first night, I was so freaked out, I didn't even go to the hot tub. So you went, but you can't really go to the hot tub
No, you
alone,
can't really
right?
go to a hot tub as
So
a
he
single.
came back,
I kind of sat
oh my
back.
God, you're never going to believe what's up there. It's this huge hot tub. Everybody's nude. There's like all these people. So the second night, after that, we went to the hot tub every night. And the second night, by then, during that second day, we met a couple, seemed to be pretty experienced, and we just asked them basically whether you could drink the water, and the guy pulled up a chair to our table and started telling us all about swinging.
Now, meanwhile, we are fucking like rabbits, the two of us,
with each other.
Because the turn on, we just thought, wow, if we don't do anything else but what we're doing, that'll be just fine.
So we should just cut to the one experience that we had.
So we're in the hot tub.
Oh, and the body shot.
Well, the body shots.
So the
came
second
first.
day we were there, I did the body shots on the bar.
And that was a real turn on.
And then a guy that I really liked did body shots on the bar, and I was like right in there.
Yeah.
So he was the body, and the shots
He
were
was
on
the
top.
body. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of my first
Experience.
little thing. I don't feel like body shots count that much, but
Well, it was the most we'd ever done with a group
True.
of people. So late afternoon, we're in the jacuzzi and we're talking to another couple, and we'd gotten kind of close to them in that we would have sex in the playroom beside them. They would watch, we would watch them, but nothing really took place between the four of us. So T was leaning up against me and she started to push back and her head started to come back. And she's having an orgasm.
yeah, the woman had her hand between my legs.
Yes.
And
was
you
like,
didn't know about this, Captain?
No, I did
Well,
know.
she knew, but
Oh.
I didn't quite know
No,
what
of
was
Of course,
going
T,
on.
I knew you knew.
If you didn't know, we got there's something wrong. So she has this beautiful orgasm, and wow, I'm in heaven. This is the first time this has ever happened, and there's just a smile on all our faces. So that was our first orgasmic.
Wow.
Okay, so that was desire. So then we get home, and we're all gung-ho. So when we found out about a club that was a couple of hours away, we joined. And then on New Year's Eve, the club had a big party that started with a dinner.
Black tie.
And yeah, it was black tie. And then after dinner at around 9, the other parties, the regular party started. More people came.
We clicked with another couple at our dinner table. You could feel the electricity starting to happen.
We ended up like in an orgy.
They were the first couple, and then the four of us started playing. So other people started to come into the picture.
Oh my God, there were like about 12 people on the
12
set.
people, and this is our first experience
Ever.
ever.
Than the little things,
Right.
the body shots and the woman in the hot tub.
And
how was that?
There were orgasms
Oh my God, it was great.
all night.
Who knows what we were doing? It was like a blur because it was the first experience.
It was incredible. We were hooked.
That's our origin story. The rest is history.
So our origin story involves a friend of mine, which we shall call Jersey Girl. This was a person who was actually a good friend of mine who came over a couple times and stayed over at my place in California whenever she was on this coast. And she was always sort of like a sister to me. I don't know why I never hit on her.
Was she hot?
Fairly.
She's very sexy.
Go on,
We
try.
decided to fly to have Halloween with Jersey Girl in 2007. And we took our first flight on the Virgin Airlines. And I got to tell you, it was very appropriate because we both got de-virginized that weekend of Halloween.
So we were staying in New York. Everything in New York is expensive as fuck. So we only had like a small hotel room, so we shared that. Anyhow, so we went out, the three of us, for a nice dinner in one of the fancy restaurants there. This is the point where you have to forgive me if some things are blurry, but it's for various reasons. Anyhow, so we were done with doing dinner, and then we were on the sidewalk deciding what to do. So Mr. Cindy goes, I want to go to a strip club.
I did. I'd never been to a strip club.
Good for you, Sam.
And I'm like, okay. So one of the interesting things on the ride over, all of a sudden, Jersey Girl goes, well, I will go with you guys to the strip club, but I'm not having sex with you.
It was just so random. There was
I'm like,
nothing sexual related to our conversations and giddiness and doing anything. It was so out of left field.
Yep.
And John and I were looking at each other and we're like, okay, that's fine. We weren't thinking along those lines.
So in the strip club, I
Got my first strip.
your first lap dance.
Yeah.
I paid a stripper to go give her a lap dance.
Oh, hey, I have a scene like that in my book.
Oh my gosh. I wanted to take that girl home.
Which will be available soon in fine bookstores everywhere.
It will. And
But-
on blissbringers.com.
Nice plug, kids.
Getting back to the storyline.
We have fun at the strip club.
Yes, that was what I think it was fairly cheap, the lap dances there. It was only like $30, but it was like the best $30 ever spent.
Oh, yeah.
That is hot.
Yeah. Can I just say the New Yorker girls that are the strippers, they smell wonderful. I don't know what it is, what perfume or lotion. They smell awesome. And I fell in love
And I
with
bet they're beautiful and amazing dancers.
They are. Amazing. They're artists. So we make our mark at the New York Strip Club. We take off. We went to another club. And at this point, things got really blurry for me because my head is spinning from not just cocktails, but the pheromones. My head was spinning from just enjoying that girls on my lap. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I was definitely drunk from pheromones. Then here's the new thing is I'm not a cigarette smoker, but at this point I'm asking for a cigarette, and that's usually my telltale of, oops, too much for the night. But the night is just beginning. Because at this point, we stopped in at this really brief moment at a bar, then took it to the hotel, and nothing is happening at this point until we get to the hotel room. And we had two separate beds, Jersey Girl on one, John and I on the other. I get this, we're having random conversations. I get this random, hey, go down to the lobby and get us some beer. And so he leaves, and in the time that he's gone...
Believe me, the last thing they needed was more alcohol. But...
But it was a good excuse to get him out of the room, apparently, because by the time he gets back with the beer, I'm over in Jersey Girl's bed, jumping her, and we are in a hot, entwined legs and arms and lips and rubbing and like glancing and seeing John, and then him putting the 6-pack down and having this big smile on his face, and he's stripping out of his clothes as quickly as he could. I didn't even have to ask him to join us. And I'm going down on Jersey Girl, and that's the first time I've ever done that.
Really?
Wow.
But how did you get into her bed? Like, whose idea was it? Do you remember how it happened?
No, we were having conversations, and this is where it's all blurry, but I could tell you it wasn't anything she said. It was just, there was probably this random joke of, oh, it's going to be cold, and me going, oh, I'll keep you warm.
Yeah, right.
Along those lines, and at that point, I'm over there, and that's all she wrote. We had such an awesome time. The first time I touched her clit, and then when I licked her, I was like, holy crap, this is awesome. And then having John fuck me from behind while licking Jersey Girl and then flipping around. So now I'm seeing my man fuck Jersey Girl, and she's doing me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is better.
The captain's getting really turned on right now.
Jersey Girl's got big, beautiful, luscious tits. I mean, they are just gorgeous. And then she has, she's not tiny. She's not big. She's not tiny. She's voluptuous. She's curvy. She's got a beautiful body. She's got soft skin. And it was all of these senses that were making my head spin even further because she takes really good care of herself. And for me, on my first experience with someone that we knew and trusted, and the three of us fucking and sucking, and she's sucking John and he's fucking her, and we're just swapping it around. It was just yummy, yummy, yummy. It was really good. Yeah, it was. Now the next day was Saturday. So this happened on Friday night. We flew in from California, and all of this happened in one night. The next day I had a excruciating headache, but everything was like, wow, did this really happen? We went to a Halloween party, and the funny thing was that John, and my perception was he was so spun up like, ooh, I want more. He had forgotten me, because at this point, anytime we went to the car, he would immediately jump into the shotgun to sit next to Jersey Girl, and he'd forget that, hello, girlfriend.
That you existed.
Here. Yeah, exactly. Girlfriend right here.
Oh.
So unfortunately, we didn't get round 2, only because I didn't feel that aftercare at all. I was having some major insecurities at that point,
Right.
So were
as
you
well
feeling
as trying to
jealous
enjoy it.
or insecure, or both?
Both. Yeah, there was a flood of emotions. Not only was I high on that experience that was delicious, it was also the insecurities, and then I had the jealousy of literally I could jump up and down, be naked in front of him, and he didn't show interest.
Right.
And so I was having all of this overwhelming emotion because it was still new in the relationship. We just started dating 6 months before that.
And so that clarifies the importance of making sure that your partner is taken care of afterwards and paid attention to.
From my point, it was like being high. And if you don't have a concept in which to place these feelings and sensations, then you fuck up. Basically.
You lose yourself.
Yeah, you don't know, okay, I'm totally outside of the social norm here, so I don't have a reference point on what you do here. Who do you give attention to? Do you talk about this? Do you don't talk about this? Do you keep it quiet?
You didn't know any of that.
No, it's not, none of this was like planned or anything. It was just like, oh my God, this happened. Now what the fuck you do?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep. Well, we had another encounter with her a few months later, but we had a couple of, we did have some bumps in the road. She's a very alpha personality, as well as myself, and establishing who's going to make the rules in John's apartment as the female cat. When you have multiple cats in a home, they need their own territory sometimes. Yeah. And so we had a couple of bumps, and there was one point where she goes, what happened in October, it can never happen again. And I said, oh, I completely agree. I said, it's not going to happen. And then that night, we're all fucking again.
That is a perfect cue.
That's your cue, right? Whenever one of you says, we're not doing that.
It happens.
We were not going to have sex. Okay, I'll be right up.
I'm going to remember that one with you guys. We're not having sex tonight, damn it.
I think it's hot. Maybe it's just being rejected or something. I don't know.
And then to complete the process, we officially signed up for our first swinger website on Valentine's Day in Paris, 2008.
And at this point, we're like, man, this is great stuff. Where do we find a playmate that we can have this type of energy with? I didn't know anything about a lifestyle or a swinger. I mean, I've heard the term swinger. That was so 70s. And when I think of the name swinger, I think of the bound chicka bound bound. Some guy in his 50s pulls up in a Corvette with gold chain around his neck. That's what my image was.
A lounge lizard type thing.
Exactly. But here's the thing is that one day I saw, I noticed that John was always listening to podcasts, and, we got engaged very quickly after dating. I knew that I wanted to marry this man. He knew he wanted to marry me. And, I wanted to get to know him at the same time of knowing, well, we've got this impending wedding that's going to happen. I guess I should know what the hell is he listening to, because maybe he's a Fruit Loop. So I asked him, what do you listen to on your podcast? And he goes, oh, various things. And you guys know John. He doesn't give direct answers. So I started going through his podcast list, and I'm like, it was all related to sex. And I'm like, oh my God, he's a sex addict.
It was one podcast.
No.
That was the Sex is Fun podcast.
You've had some others, but he's right. Sex is Fun was the first podcast, and I started listening to it. It was really educating, enlightening. I didn't, they opened our eyes, and they called out some names of websites. It was good. I most enjoyed hearing from the women's standpoint, his wife, the Kidder's wife, Jade. I enjoyed listening to their bath talks, because coming from a perspective of a woman, it helped me justify that I'm a good person. This isn't dirty. This isn't wrong. I'm not going to hell. And it was really, really helpful to hear the couples talking, and I could hear by their voices they were truthfully happy. They loved where they were. And so that helped us on the path. Then we got into, registering for the websites. Adult Friend Finder was very short-lived for us. That wasn't our style. Lifestyle Lounge, SLS, we registered and met a couple of good people in the events. And we went to the clubs like Twist in San Francisco, and the orgies were the fun parts for us. Man, they were just energetic. There was so much electricity going amongst multiple people when you feel a hand touch your hand, and you could feel the whole entire electricity of everybody just stream through us all. It was fantastic.
Yeah, the first orgy, I mean, there's nothing like it.
You'll never forget your first orgy.
No.
Never.
We won't.
We nicknamed it Cuddle Puddles. Not orgies. They're Cuddle Puddles.
Cuddle puddles.
Yeah, that's when
cute.
everybody's having sex and there's electricity and yeah. So that's it. That was the beginning.
Wow, nice.
Okay, great. Those are the origin stories.
Naughty news of the week.
The University of Toronto, their sexual education center, kicked off Sexual Awareness Week in January with a swinger party at the Oasis Aqua Lounge in Toronto. And they billed it as an epic student sex adventure.
Wow.
I love it.
Isn't that an amazing thing?
So, do you get grades for swinging well, or how does that work?
I don't think your professors are invited.
It's kind of cool because what they did is, I'm just reading some of the things, they actually said what each floor was going to be like, that there was going to be dancing,
Yeah, dancing on the ground floor and then play areas upstairs.
That's so funny. I'm looking at the Google News and it's talking about the sex ed center.
Yeah, so they're trying to encourage sex positivity with the students.
Excellent.
But what was really funny was that down in the comments, somebody says, as a mother and a University of Toronto staff member, I'm appalled that a prestigious university such as U of T hosts this event. It is, simply put, an invitation to animalistic behavior under the pretext of educating. Do we need to expose young minds to more pornography? Has the world gone completely mad? Responsible authorities at U of T, please intervene and stop this insanity.
Can you believe it?
No.
I thought that comment
Somebody has to correct her. It's not pornography if you're participating.
Right.
That's true. So
and does she think that the students are not having sex in the dorm rooms?
The entry fee was only $5.
Even
when
better.
we went there, it was 80.
So it's amazing because we were at the club not too long ago, and they have an evening set out every week for just the students.
Yeah, so only students are allowed, and I think there's an age limit.
Yeah. I love that idea.
People perving
Isn't
on
that cool, eh?
I love that idea because, as a mom with my daughter not having locations to go when she was, a young adult, I'd rather have her go to that club and experience it versus doing it in the back of the seat or sneaking around in the house.
It's safer. I mean, there's other people around.
It's safe. It's monitored.
As a professor, I actually think that's a good thing.
Once a week now, they have student night, student day and night.
At Oasis.
Gosh, it was that successful.
Yeah. Well, it's been going on for a while.
I think they
amazing.
even had it last year.
So if I go back to school, can I join? Because I know some of those college boys are yummy looking. Give me those water polo boys.
Oh my God, they are.
They're over 18. Come on.
They are. They're adults, right? Exactly. And they're horny.
MILF.
And they have a lot of stamina.
So that's my news flash of the week.
So, a new podcast that I just discovered, Lifestyle Out Loud. Fairly interesting, new people on the scene. They started up, I think somewhere in December. They already have 10 episodes out.
Ooh.
Pretty interesting. What I found there is that they document their newbie experiences, and their first meet and greet was actually the meet and greet that we took Shira to when she was doing the Life on the Swing set review of what do swingers really look like. So that was the double thing. And to top it all off, the first party that they went to was Kiss, the same place as that we've been to, and
Mission Control.
Yep, and where Mistress as a cutie spanked some podcaster ass. So I found that an interesting set of coincidences. And so shout out to Lifestyle Out Loud, and links in the show notes.
Luscious Labs with Professor T.
So, Professor, what did you cook up in your Luscious Labs this week for us?
Well, we decided to experiment a little bit further with the 15-minute orgasm from Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Body book. Tried it last weekend, and it was moderately successful, but we thought we would give it another go. So yesterday, we set the timer. He says you set the timer for 15 minutes. You go into it with no expectations. It's a no-goal project. And so I got into position, which means that I was naked, and I laid on my back with my feet together and my legs spread like a butterfly. And then the captain propped himself up on my left side with a pillow, so he was raised a little bit. Put one leg over my body and the other leg under my leg. And then he put his left hand under my butt with his thumb right at opening of my pussy. And then he leans over with his right hand and starts rubbing my clit literally in about a 3 millimeter area.
Lightly. Very lightly.
For 15 minutes.
At 1 o'clock of the clit. And I pull back the cap over the clip with the palm of my hand lightly
to expose the whole clitoris.
And what was nice this time is I remembered to put the lube in an area, not that I needed much lube by then because tea was rather wet, but I could just dip my finger in the lube if required.
He put a little blob of lube on my leg.
Right.
So I just lay back with my eyes closed, and I'm thinking, again, like I did last week, this is going nowhere. Then after about, and I was giving you little directions to get it exactly in the right spot. And he's just moving his finger back and forth like about that rhythm, you know. And after about 5 minutes, I started having these like spasms, and I started having basically an orgasm with these uncontrollable muscle spasms and contractions, and it went on for the next 10 minutes till the timer went off.
It was amazing. Wow. And I was in a meditative state with the rhythm and her spasms.
It was fucking hot, man.
It was hot?
It was hot. I was like, I felt so taken care of. I'm like, this is all about me. Awesome. I love it.
And I told myself often that there was no goal here. There was no objective. She didn't have to come. She didn't have to even have a spasm. My job was to just be rhythmic with the stroking at 1 o'clock, very lightly. And I really meditated on that. So
and I was like moving into your hand sometimes and really, you know, and then I thought, oh, this is like that it was going to end. I thought that it would subside and then maybe start up again. But no, it stayed continuous for the next 10 minutes. And then the timer went off. And then we stopped. And then you did the grounding thing.
Oh, the grounding
where
at the end.
You lay your palm over my whole
and you
groin kind of thing and push.
Nice and even.
That releases the energy.
Yeah. So I would say that the 15-minute orgasm experiment is going rather well.
Yes. That was our second time.
And we're going to try it a few more times.
So this is an ongoing project.
This is an ongoing project.
He says to try it, how many? 5
times?
5 times.
Before you allow any kind of interruption in the 15 minutes for fucking.
Right.
But I don't think I want to stop.
We kind of like the.
I'd rather fuck after.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, a 15-minute. I'm going for 15. So this time it was 10. The orgasm lasted 10 minutes. Next time, maybe 15.
It's a thing we're doing together. It's fun.
Yeah.
So how many thumbs up for the book so far?
For that part of the book?
Yes.
2 thumbs up.
Yeah, I'd
say 4 thumbs up.
Yeah, last night was 4 thumbs up.
I highly recommend it.
So that's all that we have time for this week. You can find us at blissbringers.com. We're also available on Twitter and Facebook. You can contact us at info@blissbringers.com. Till next time,
What's your pleasure?
All names mentioned in this show are either fictional, taken from public record, or held by people who have given their explicit consent to be mentioned.